It's been a 100-day global battle against the coronavirus. And the search for a cure has never been as urgent as it is today. The Indian Council of Medical Research has given a go-ahead to Kerala for the clinical trial of plasma therapy to treat critical COVID-19 patients. What is plasma therapy? Could it be one of the possible solutions for treatment? Before I'm joined by a panel of medical experts, here is how far the global search for a cure has reached.
On the 19th of March, when the United States of America reported over 4,000 coronavirus cases in a single day, the Trump administration spoke about convalescent plasma therapy for COVID-19 patients.
There's a cross-agency effort about something called convalescent plasma. This is a pretty exciting area. And again, this is something that we have given assistance to other countries with as this crisis has developed. So FDA has been working for some time on this.
Today, as the world marks 100 days of its fight against the virus, over 99,000 people have succumbed globally and over 16,33,000 have been infected. In the search for a cure, India too is playing its role, with the state of Kerala gearing up to commence trial for convalescent plasma therapy.
This particular therapy where they took the plasma from the patient suffering from the coronavirus after they have recovered.
A mode of treatment which uses antibodies from the blood of cured patients to treat critically ill COVID-19 patients. In February, when doctors in Shanghai resorted to this treatment, WHO called it a very valid approach. So in the global race for a COVID medical breakthrough, from vaccine trials to the use of hydroxychloroquine to exploring plasma therapy, is the world looking at a solution? Let's debate.
And ladies and gentlemen, on the Republic Network, it has been our effort to bring you the best experts in India and globally. And I'm delighted to introduce someone who is not just an expert, he's been in practice for 20 years. He's affiliated with a very prestigious Mount Sinai Hospital, and he's joining us live from New York. It must be a busy time for you, Dr. Eric Naibart. And all the people across India are very grateful for the time you're giving us. And you are among the world's global experts on this subject. So your presence on our channel means a lot. So thank you at the start.
No, thank you for inviting me, and good luck to you all.
Thank you, and good luck and health to you as well. I'll start with a question, and we'll try and see if we get some callers also in. Dr. Naibart, your hospital has injected over 20 very sick coronavirus patients with what is called a convalescent serum based upon the blood plasma of people who have recovered from the disease. Can you explain what the basic, for lay people watching tonight, what this treatment is, and how effective is it?
Well, what this therapy is we take patients who have recovered from the disease, who have high titers of antibodies, which is one component of your immune system to the virus, and then we match a recovered patient's serum with a ill patient's serum. It's like matching giving a blood transfusion, and then we give an infusion of this immune serum. A similar type therapy was helpful in treating Ebola patients. I've seen several patients get the therapy so far. Actually, one got it 36 hours ago, who was on the border of requiring a ventilator, who has marked improvement of his oxygen in his blood this morning.
Is it people across all age groups and even those with comorbidities who respond well to these treatment? And my second question, addition to that, is Dr. Eric Naibart. How long do these antibodies last in the bloodstream? Does it last a few days, or weeks, or much longer?
I think we're at the beginning of the therapy. I don't think we know how long they last. I don't think that we really know the timetable for responses yet. I think what we're trying to do is to target patients earlier in the disease before they require a ventilator.
What would you call the plasma treatment? Would you call it I'll just use some words, a possible cure, a vaccine substitute, or just a means to build a more active immunity?
Yeah, it's not a vaccination or a vaccine for preventing disease. I think this is going back to the 1930s, where you used to give antibodies to cure people of certain types of bacterial pneumonia. It's called passive immunization. So it's already taking immune antibodies and transferring from one patient to the next.
Right. And so are you saying from your initial answers, Dr. Naibart, would it be fair for me or our viewers to assume that perhaps, say, a month from now or so, because you're at the very early stages of doing this, maybe a month from now or 3-4 weeks from now, we'll have a better sense of how effective this plasma therapy can be?
Most assuredly. Right now, the numbers are so small, it's really impossible to understand. And the key thing's going to be in looking at the different types of patients that get it, whether it's patients earlier in the phase of the disease before they require breathing assistance with a ventilator, and the results of patients that unfortunately are on a ventilator. I mean, it's highly probable that there's going to be different responses, and the key thing with all therapies is going to be to try and find an answer before somebody's grievously ill.
I don't want to second guess this, but we know that most people have mild symptoms, Dr. Naibart, very mild symptoms, and they do remarkably well. Now, are you saying that this plasma therapy is only for those who begin to develop certain more serious respiratory or other issues which could be a graver threat?
Yes, this is going to be for people that are in hospital that are requiring oxygen supplements.
Okay, so those who are in hospital requiring oxygen supplements, you give this, and how quickly does it work?
That is an answer I can't give you yet.
Well,
that unfortunately is an answer we don't know. The numbers are really too small.
Okay, the Mount Sinai, finally, my last question to you is Dr. Naibart. Mount Sinai, your hospital is part of the National COVID-19 Convalescent Plasma Projects in the United States. This project is a consortium of more than 40 of your country's top health institutions, I'm told, across 22 American states, looking to collect plasma from recovered COVID-19 patients. Now, the question will be, once you collect the plasma, how is it going to be stored? Can it be stored forever? Will it work the way stem cells do, or can it be stored only for a finite period?
Well, I'm not a blood banking person to give you a definitive answer, but I assume it's going to be stored the way blood and plasma is. So there's going to be a finite amount of time that it's going to be able to be held.
Is everyone looking at you? Are the kind of questions that we are putting tonight? Because everyone's looking for a cure, something preventive. Would you say that, the project that you are involved in today is perhaps, everyone across is looking at you for this? Because I want to connect you with one more person, Dr. Naibart, if you can give me a couple of minutes. His name is Dr. Debashish Gupta. Dr. Debashish Gupta is a professor and at the head of transfusion medicine at the Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute for Medical Sciences and Technology in Thiruvananthapuram, and which is in the southern Indian state of Kerala. He's also working on plasma, this plasma convalescent theory. Dr. Gupta, now, it's very fascinating that the work that Dr. Eric Naibart is doing has a lot to do on the same lines that you are doing in Kerala. How's it going for you? And are you also looking keenly at the results that come from New York as well?
Yes, we are also looking on the same line of the way the other countries are also following. And the thing that we are trying to see that all the criterias for collecting the plasma from those recovered COVID patient fulfills, and we collect in the proper manner and segregate it from the normal plasma pool. As you have asked for, Eric, that how long we can use it, because this plasma is only intended for those with the COVID-19 patients only.
Yeah.
And if it is not being used, then it cannot be stored forever. It has to be discarded. Okay, so we have to be very careful in selecting the patient, the volume collected, and as per the thing, the number, so that not a single unit goes wasted. Every unit should be properly managed, controlled, and transported and transfused.
Okay, one question which comes from everyone, Dr. Naibart, this question is to you. And by the way, we are joined by Arnab Poonawalla, who is CEO of the Serum Institute of India, doing great work on the area of vaccination. Arnab, thanks. And we also have with us Dr. Krishna Ella. He's chairman and MD of Bharat Biotech. So we have really got together some of the world's best experts and India's best experts on the lockdown questions tonight. Dr. Eric Naibart, how expensive do you think this is likely to be? The first question, on people's minds, do you think this is going to be within reach of most people, say in the US? And then I'd like to hear the same thing from Dr. Debashish Gupta. Dr. Naibart.
Well, in the United States, we've really been giving it, there's no question of anybody's ability to pay. Anybody that requires therapy is given therapy. I think there's multiple parameters that we use. There's hopefully a vaccination to prevent future cases. There's going to be hopefully medications for some and immune therapy for others. So it's really a multi-pronged approach.
Multi-pronged approach. So this is interesting, viewers. Isn't it fascinating? You have one of the top doctors in the United States on the program from Mount Sinai, and you have a great doctor from who's working in Kerala tonight. Both are working towards the same possible preventive. Remember, plasma therapy, which is being looked at right now, which is still in a trial basis, is not a vaccine, but it can be used on those who might be going into a more serious manifestation of the disease to help them come out of it. Dr. Gupta, how expensive is this likely to be, and on whom are you trying this? Is it at a trial stage right now in Thiruvananthapuram?
Yes, definitely it is in the trial stage, and we are the total cost we have worked out for each unit of the plasma we collect from a patient comes to around 15 to 20,000. Because we have to collect the plasma only by the means of apheresis. We just cannot do a whole blood collection, because it will be just simply a wastage of the blood, because we cannot use the red cell for any other patient.
Yes.
And this red cell will not be of use. So we have to collect the plasma by plasmapheresis, and that total cost out, if we take all the parameters of screening for the TTI, transfusion transmitted infections, and other parameters, then it comes to work out to 15,000. And we are going to that's
within reach.
Give the treatment to the severely affected patient, and particularly the elderly patient who needs plasma therapy as the first line of.
Absolutely. I want to tell you also, viewers, that Dr. Naibart has told our network that he can keep coming back to our network as more tests come up. So that's also great. So we'll be able to give you some kind of a regular update, thankfully for that. I'm joined also by Arnab Poonawalla. Let's talk about the vaccine. Arnab Poonawalla is Chief Executive Officer and Executive Director of the Serum Institute of India, which is working in partnership with the US-based vaccine specialist Codagenics to develop a vaccine with de-optimized live attenuated virus. There's a phrase, and animal trial data is expected soon. Mr. Poonawalla, what kind of a vaccine are you working on? And how close do you think you are on it? What stage are you at of the development?
What kind of a virus vaccine are you working on? And how close do you think you are on it? What stage are you at of the development?
I don't have any audio. Is my audio coming through?
Yeah. Adar, the question is, what stage are you at of the vaccine that you're working on? let's try and fix the audio on that. Let me go back right now to Dr. Debashish Gupta, who's still okay. Adar is on.
Doing trials in mice and monkeys, and we hopefully will be able to enter human trials by September or October this year. So that would mean that if the vaccine is efficacious and works, we should have one early 2021.
Early 2021. And what are the results of the tests that you're already doing on animals? You said you're doing animal trials.
Yes. So at the moment, until that's over, we really have to concentrate on more testing and quarantine procedures that our government is doing very well. And we just have to build our herd immunity. You know, just like all other diseases, till a vaccine or drugs that can treat these diseases come about, we have to build our own herd immunity and then combine that with vaccines later on. We will have 80 to 90% protection. You know, if you look at H1N1 and all these other epidemics which plagued us years ago, this is how we've dealt with it, and we just have to be a little patient to build that up over the next year or two and not cripple the economy completely beyond a certain limit.
Absolutely.
So we have to balance that out.
Absolutely. And finally, we are running short of time, but we've got Dr. Krishna Ella with us. Dr. Krishna Ella is Chairman and Managing Director of Bharat Biotech. He's a molecular biologist, and Bharat Biotech is working very hard on an intranasal drop for COVID-19. They have initiated testing in the US in collaboration with the University of Wisconsin-Madison and vaccine developer FluGen. Dr. Krishna Ella, if you can hear me, tell us a little bit about the vaccine that you're trying to work towards.
I can't hear.
Okay, okay, then in that case, I'll have to close here. I'll try and I promise you, Dr. Krishna Ella, I'll get you back. I know the audio video links have not been great, but the amazing part of at least our conversation today, Adar, we had a limited chat with you also, but the amazing thing is you have some very serious testing on the plasma treatment going on in New York, in Kerala. We pray that it's successful. Adar is working on something of his own, and if Dr. Krishna Ella, you can hear me, let me give it another shot. Can you tell us a little bit about the vaccine that you're developing?
I can't hear Arnab.
Okay, we'll fix that next time, Dr. Krishna Ella. I thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me tonight. The last part of our program today has given us hope that we will come out of this. The question is, how do we hold ourselves together with discipline and tenacity in this period? I'm sure we will. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay home. The Prime Minister is meeting Chief Ministers tomorrow, and we should know soon about whether there will be a formal extension of a lockdown, when that will be. Till tomorrow then, good night and goodbye.